hey, there's my phone. Oh, is this charging while resting on the table? Say what? I'll show you how I made this fancy little table that you can have in your own home for behind your sofa. But I know this table wasn't behind my sofa because it's not for my sofa, but either way it can be used in that way or this way, honestly. Doesn't work too bad. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling in this intro and we're gonna get into the build. All right. YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to this week's video. We are making a console table that's gonna have an outlet on the top shelf, which will give us 2 extra outlets as well as 2 charging ports for USBs. It's gonna be pretty cool. I've never done anything like this, so I'm excited to take you along on the journey with me. Let's start off by cutting our legs. Our materials that we are gonna be using for this build are 2x4s at 8 feet long. We got 6 of those. And then we're gonna use 2 1x8s that are 8 feet long as well for our tops. So we're gonna start by cutting the legs, and we're gonna cut 4 pieces at 29¼ inches. Obviously, our 4 legs are done and complete now. So we are gonna take these 4 pieces of 2x8 and we're gonna make 4 cuts at 89 inches. And this is gonna provide our bracing to connect our legs together. And then after that, we are gonna cut all of our bracing that's gonna join our legs together. It might not make a lot of sense right now, but I promise you it will. So let's start with the 89-inch braces. All right, all of our pieces are now cut. We have our 89-inch pieces right there. We have our legs all mocked up right here. This is only gonna be 6 inches wide, so it's very narrow, obviously. Now the next step you can do is simple assembly, which I'll show you when I'm assembling. However, what I'm gonna do off camera is I'm going to plane all of this with my planer way down here. This step is not necessary for any of these projects. It's just something I do to make my work stand out for my customers. So I'm just gonna clean all these edges up with my planer. Again, it's not necessary, don't feel pressured. You can still do this project even if you don't have a planer. I'm gonna get that done and I will see you in the next step. All right, as you can see, we have everything now planed up for our 4 pieces of 89 inches that are gonna be our braces. I have pocket holed all these as well. I did that off camera. So next what we have to do is take our shelf tops here, which are both 1x8s, and we have to cut these down to be 6 inches wide. And I'll probably just use my circular saw for that. And as you can see over here, we have our legs all planed up. I didn't plane these braces simply because I almost died when I tried to. So I gave up on that. And so I'm just gonna probably end up sanding those down really well when I get to sanding. But before I do get to sanding, like I said, let's cut these shelves. So we have both of our pieces now cut to 6 inches in width. I didn't have my other straight edge piece for my longer rips with my circular saw, so I just used my table saw. Now these are cut. Now I'm gonna sand everything and stain everything. We are now sanded and stained. It is winter here in Michigan, so that means all staining gets done in the basement now. Now let's assemble this together. As you can see, we are finally assembled up. Had quite a bit of a headache doing so, but we're back in the garage now and we are gonna cut 10 pieces that are 3 inches to be more of our bracing all throughout each shelf. Now we are all mocked up, ready to get our top on first. As you can see, I have a clamp over every single stud that I put in. So now all I'm going to do is from the bottom up, secure this into place. Here we are with our top finally all secured and in place. Very difficult, annoying process. However, we got it done, and I learned a few things out of it, so it's always a win and not as annoying. So next up, we are going to be putting in our second shelf. Obviously, we have our legs in the way of our 1x8 to lay in there. I'm gonna be trimming off with my jigsaw all the corner edges here so we can slide that board into place. We're gonna use the tried and true measurements of a 2x4, so 3.5 inches in, and then also 1.5 inches deep off of each corner. Should give us plenty of clearance to get this shelf into place. So I'm gonna measure all those corners out and then cut that off with my jigsaw. So here we are all mocked up and in place now. With the initial 3.5 inches in and the 1.5 inch deep cuts, those were good starting points. However, they weren't the final cut. I had to do a lot of adjusting, as you kind of saw in those clips, but we're now mocked up and in place. So the next thing I'm gonna do is secure this bottom shelf the same way I did as the top shelf, which will be bottom up. Here we are all secured and in place. The next thing I'm gonna do is cover up all of our screw holes right there with some wood putty and let that dry so I can sand it and put on a second coat of stain everywhere. But this is going really good and I'm happy with it. Alright, as you can see, all of our putty is in there, dried. Also, what came in today, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm happy it did, is our actual outlet that's gonna go on our tabletop. So we have that, and I'm gonna measure out and make the cuts for that. And then we have some of these to protect our floor for the client. They're obviously adjustable for leveling, which is awesome. And then they're padded on the bottom so they won't scratch the floor. I'm not 100% sure what type of surface this is going on, but we should be protected no matter what. So now let's get into measuring and cutting this into place. Alright, as you can see, we are all carved out now for our outlet. I even used my chisel a little bit to carve out any of the edges that were being difficult from the jigsaw, but here we are all set, ready to go. And now what I'm going to do is sand all of the sides and tops and get those clear and ready for a second coat. Here we are, sanded, second coat is on, and we also have 2 coats of polyurethane on. This bad boy is looking nice and good. The next thing I'm going to do now is fix my camera, and then now you're gonna just see me put in the outlet, and this project's done. Pretty cool. There you have it, everybody. This is the console table in its full glory. Obviously, this is not meant for my house because this totally takes up everything, but it does kind of work, like maybe a smaller one. I don't know, maybe another project for the future. But this is it in all its glory. Like I said, it is 8 feet long, 6 inches deep, and 30 inches tall. The outlet works great. My phone's charging, and it works out really good because my camera's dead. But that is it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like down below. Comment down below what you think. Did you try this? Have you ever worked with an outlet before? let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are on our way to 500 subscribers, and when we get there, we are doing a $50 Home Depot giveaway. Don't forget to be subscribed in order to be entered to win that. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much. Have a great day or night. Don't forget to keep God number one. God bless.